Hey everybody, how you doing? Tonight is the night that I was chosen to do the next installment in the Binder Show Off Chain Challenge that Mr. Tops 85 401 kicked off yesterday. I thought it was a great idea, Nate. He did a binder showcase, and at the end of his video, he called somebody else out to show their binder, and his first choice was Oakland A's 915, and then I watched Eric's video, and he chose Tony Psyched on Baseball Cards. And I was pleasantly surprised tonight. I got a message from Eric, and then I went over and watched Tony's video, and I was chosen by Tony to do my video. So you guys might be thinking, what's he gonna show? I do have a plethora of binders to show. I didn't want to be, I don't want to be like, of course he's gonna show his Donnie baseball stuff. I'm actually not going to show my Donnie baseball stuff. So far, Nate has done, his Barry Bonds binder. Eric did his one of his Mark McGwire binders, which are fantastic videos. Tony switched it up a little bit today, which I thought was really cool. Tony did a set binder. It was a 2011, I believe it was a 2011 Gypsy Queen, which is really cool. And I am going to mix it up a little bit more. I was actually thinking about doing a set video, but then Tony did his, so I didn't want to do the same. So I'm going to do something a little different. It's not a specific player PC, but it's one of those miscellaneous type binders that I have a lot of fun with. And, I probably have said it many times that, we collect cards for many different reasons. And, the biggest reasons are the players we love. We like to collect the stars and the hot rookies and the inserts and the shiny cards and all the good stuff. All that stuff is awesome. I love it. I collect it. But sometimes I like to show or collect, which I'm actually going to show you in a second, stuff that's kind of like quirky. I like the quirky stuff. And I know Mr. Bob Lewis. I know Mr. Lewis is simpatico with that. So the quirky stuff is really cool and fun. Usually those kind of cards don't get much love in the hobby, but I'm going to give lots of love. So this binder here that I'm going to show off is a binder of cards. There's a couple of themes in this binder. There is the batting cage theme, and there is dugout theme. Two things that baseball players spend many, many, many hours of their life in, the dugout and in the batting cage. So no further ado, here we go. Here's my binder of batting cage and dugout photos. And I do set my binder up by team, so let me flip the camera around here. There we go. There's my mess, my sorting mess, and some other stuff over there. But here we go. Here's my binder. So I basically start off, I do alphabetical by team, but I start this one off with some Rockies and some Marlins because there's not a lot representation in those teams since they've only been around, a short period of time compared to all the other teams. So I just have a few of their cards here, so you can see these are all batting cage cards for the actual Diamondbacks, the Marlins, and the Rockies. I'm sure there's more out there, I just haven't come across them yet. And then I go into just alphabetical order by team. I got the Angels in the cage. So again, a lot of these guys, you're like, who the heck is that? Here's a great Bobby Grich. Here's a short Freddie Patek. So my how I choose cards for batting cage is basically the batting cage. You just got to be in the photo somewhere. The guy doesn't have to actually be in the cage. He could be leaning on the cage or next to the cage. He doesn't have to be in the cage. Though I really do prefer the guys in the cage. Like that one there is really cool. Bobby Grich is in the cage. And that is that. Claudell Washington. And then there's Devon White. He was a really good player for the Angels and the Blue Jays and the Marlins during his career. Really solid player. And then I go into some dugout photos. Again, they can be in the dugout, next to the dugout, on the dugout steps. There's somebody getting ready. I'm not sure if that's probably tobacco. I'm guessing he's getting ready to throw a load of tobacco on his lip. And there's Chuck Finley with a towel on his head. Some modern stuff too. I like to mix it all up, modern and, you know, old. It's cool to see stuff like that. And then very tragic player Donnie Moore. We all know the story of Donnie Moore. It's a very sad story. And that's probably one of the coolest ones. Chris Turner right outside the dugout, probably talking to a fan or something. So that's really cool. And then we got a couple on the back here. And then we go to the Astros in the cage. Billy Hatcher. It's a nice shot of the cage of Tony Scott right there. He's not in the cage, but he's next to the cage, so that counts. And Ray Knight. Cool one. That's somebody bunting in the cage, so that's kind of cool. And then we got some Astros in the dugout. Got Eric Anthony with his shades on. John Singleton giving some fist pumps. And then we move over to the Oakland A's. So it was pretty cool. We had representation basically from the west side of the Mississippi River in the first three videos. So now it's kicked over to the east side of the Mississippi River. I'm representing Florida. So I got to think who I'm gonna call out at the end of my video. There's some cool A's ones in here. And there's the ever-loved Shooty Babbitt. Gotta love Shooty Babbitt. And there's a cool Jerry Brown doing a drag bunt in the cage. That's nice. I always like the 90 Topps Jose Canseco card. Very cool card. Troy Neal. And then we get some dugout photos. Classic Jose Canseco in the dugout. It's a modern one. I got a foily Franklin Barreto. And then Smoke Stewart. And we got a little Todd Van Poppel action. Woo! And we got some Blue Jays in the cage. Some memorable and some forgettable. I forgot Jeff Burroughs played for the Blue Jays at the end of his career. John Olerud, definitely awesome player, great fielder, solid hitter. There's a pitcher in the cage, Pat Hampton. A couple more in the back here, and then we go to the Bravos in the cage. Bob Horner, hit 4 home runs in a game once. There's Neon Dion. Got a little 78 Topps action there. Shout out to Murph 398. Oh, it was one of my favorites. My favorite names back in the 70s. Roland Office. I remember as a kid, that name just struck to me. Roland Office and Biff Pocoroba. Both played on the Braves. There's another Murph in the cage. And there's Steve Avery. There he's leaning on the cage. That's pretty cool. And there's a nice one of Glenn Hubbard. No snake in that photo. And then we get the Brewers in the cage. This is cool because I actually have another sub PC of Broken Bats. So this can go in both, man. The Broken Bat PC and the Cage PC. So that one's awesome. I love that one. Joe Oliver. I can't even say his name. Joe Oliver had some really cool cards in his career, especially when he was on the Reds. A lot of really cool in-action catcher shots. And then we got the Dave Nielsen in the old, well, not really throwbacks because the Brewers didn't exist back when the uniforms looked like that. So, and we got some more in the cage here. Some Dave Parker action. And then we go into the dugout here. Now, not every team is represented. That's another one cool because it's got the dugout in the bat rack. And we go with the Cardinals in the cage and Stan the Man. Ed Crosby. Lou Brock in the cage, or near the cage, actually. He's next to the cage, not in the cage, but it counts. Then we got some dugout cards. Greg Jeffries coming out of the dugout. Little celebration near the dugout. Juan Agosto just hanging out in the dugout. Daryl Porter just kind of like, staring off into space there with those crazy googly eye glasses. There's a cool one, Matt Adams. And we got some Cubs in the cage. And we got some more Cubs in the cage. Got a nice 68 Willie Davis. I believe Pepino Man sent me that card. Nice Corey Seager rookie card. Candy Maldonado is also in my food PC binder. And so is Dusty Baker. So we got two guys crossing over. You got Manny Mota. Steve Sachs button in the cage. We got some Expos. The Hawk. Pepe Frias. Trophy card. That's a nice one of, is that Rondell White? I believe that's Rondell White. Yeah, Rondell White kind of like kneeling down in the cage. Bad glare there, guys. I apologize. There we go. And some little vintage action, 75 tops. He's not even batting, but he's got his glove on, but he's near the cage, so counts. Some Giants have got some really nice ones. Here's a Julian Tavares in the cage. He's a pitcher. There's another one of Dusty. I love the Brandon Belt. That's awesome. It's his rookie card. That is a great card. Shout out to Nate. Another trophy card. Gary Alexander and Chris Spire. Woo! So we're hitting all the different PCs here. Crossover PCs. So this is the fun stuff, guys. This is stuff you go through your cards and you just look for different things. That's what makes it so much fun and enjoyable. And, it keeps the boredom away. There's a more modern card, 2013 tops. Brett Butler. I like that one because the ball is right in the frame right there. We got some more Mel Hall, a couple of Mel Halls. Not the nicest of guys in the world. Buddy Bell next to the cage. And we got some Mariners. That's Michael Brantley's dad. And Phil Bradley was a decent player for the Mariners back in the day. No Julio Cruz action. Jeffrey Leonard with the flap down, running the bases after a home run. Remember him for that. There's Jim Presley next to a cage with a batting tee. Now that's pretty cool. You don't see many batting tees on baseball cards. And then we got some just dugout cards. It's Phil Bradley again. Michael Saunders celebrating in the dugout. That's pretty cool. And Glenn Allen Hill talking to his bat, telling it to crush the next ball he sees. That dude could hit some home runs. He was a strong dude. Some Mets. Shout out to all my Mets boys out there. Hojo. Got David Cone. Dave Magadan. Butch Husky. Jesus Alou. And Kevin Elster. This is cool stuff, man. This is very cool. Gary Carter, shout out to Carter's kids. Here he's got a cage card. Rusty Staub, one of the greatest names in baseball. And we got the Orioles, I think, have some of the best in-cage cards in this whole binder. Like this, to me, probably is one of the best cage cards. That's the Cheeto Martinez. Again, does double duty here. And I also have Cheeto Martinez in my food book because, you love Cheetos. And but that is just a fantastic card. That is a great photograph. And I can wax poetic on 93 Upper Deck forever and ever and ever. I'm sure if you watch my videos, you hear me talking about them. 93 Upper Deck, I love them. There's Phil Bradley again. There's Harold Baines leaning on a cage. Sam Horn. He was a prospect with the Red Sox back in the day. And Steve Finley, Gary Renicky. Then we go to the Padres in the cage or on the cage or near the cage. The late Alan Wiggins. Benito Santiago. Luis Lopez, batting right-handed but wearing a left-handed helmet in the cage. How often do you see that? Bruce Bochy heading to the Hall of Fame as a manager. And we got the Phillies. Shout out to all my Phillies boys up there. Greg is gross. They got a triple there. 3 guys in the cage. Got Von Hayes, Juan Samuel, and I believe Glenn Wilson. There's a Juan Samuel solo. And they got some late 70s stuff. Shake and Bake McBride, Gary Maddox. And they got a nice 1966 tops of Adolfo Phillips. There's Nails. There's the cage right there. Another pitcher in the cage right there, Bruce Ruffin. We got some Pirates. Shout out to Bob Lewis. Bobby Bowe. Tony Pena. Really good catcher back in the day. And we got some Rangers. Shout out to Baseball Collector. Richie Zisk. Another Harold Baines. And this is getting to be a long video, but I'm having fun. I think I know who I'm going to pick next. Kevin Mensch. Supposedly that guy had a huge head. Like, his helmets had to be, like, specially made. So these are the Dugout Rangers. Some nice dugout photos. And then we got the Reds. Shout out to Jason, Zombie Collector. Chris Hazen. I like that one. Jose Rijo's got the bat in a bunting position with the hat backwards, and he's a pitcher in the cage. How do you like that? Paul O'Neill leaning on the cage. There's a Ken Griffey Sr. Nice 182 tops. And then we got the Red Sox. Actually, this is another one of my favorites. I really like that's the Rocco Baldelli. That's a cool one. He played for the Red Sox for like a year. And then we got a nice vintage Boomer Scott there. Little Hall of Fame action with Wade Boggs. Cecil Cooper, great player. Glenn Hoffman, that's Trevor Hoffman's brother. We get the Royals in the cage. And Cookie Rojas. Again, another one that goes into the food binder PC. Yeah, I think this is an awesome idea, Nate. And here it is, the Pete LaCock in the cage. His cock's in the cage. And Tony Soliata right near the cage. And we got the Tigers. We're getting at it again, guys. Got a couple more teams here. Now, Steve Kemp's got a lot. He's got like the 79 tops. He's got the, there's another one in here somewhere. He's got like 2 or 3. Ron Leaflor. The 81 tops. There's some Tigers in the dugout cards. Another Hall of Famer, Mickey Tettleton. Jack Morris leaning up against the wall. Lou Whitaker looks like he's giving an autograph to somebody there. Cool one of Rob Deere. And we got the Twinkies. Randy Bush. Gary Ward. That's Greg Nettles' brother, Jim Nettles. And that is that, I think, for the Twins. Oh, one more. There are a lot of Twins in the cage. Lots. Pretty cool. Gene Larkin's nice. Again, there it is. The ball's right in the frame. I like that when they show the ball in the frame. That's very cool. I always like this, the 85 Fleer set. And we got the White Sox in the cage, or on the cage, or near the cage. Here's another one. Another really cool one. I get those, those horizontal panoramic view cards. Now, the Cheeto Martinez and the Lance Johnson out of the Stadium Club, that's another really awesome cage card there in Comiskey. That is just fantastic. Beautiful card. So there are diamonds in the rough when you don't even think there are. Hall of Famer Frank Thomas, Mark Hill. There's another Harold Baines. This is like the third team. He's represented in this binder. There's a Bobby Bonilla rookie card. Yes, he played for the White Sox when he came up. And last but not least, my Yankees. Here's another Steve Kemp. That's a nice Wayne Tollison near the cage. A Bernie Williams. Rookie in the cage. Oscar Gamble. Gotta love that. I think the last player to wear 23 before Don Mattingly, I believe. I'm not 100% sure, but I believe possibility. And then just a few more. Really like the Danny P there. That's a cool one. And then the Danny Tartabull. Of course, beautiful Stadium Club photography. And last but not least, we got Mel Hall. So that's it, guys. That is my in the cage, in the dugout binder. I hope you all enjoyed it. And I'll see you in the next video. But, oh, wait. Whoa. Don't go anywhere. I got to pick the next person. I got to pick the next dude who has to do this. So... All right. Let's do, I'm calling out for the next video, that'd be video number 5 in the series. I'm calling out you guys, Dustin and Blake, up in Minnesota. All right, guys, you're on the clock. I want to see what you got. I know you've been working on some good stuff, so I'm sure you're going to make us proud. May the cardboard god shine down upon everybody. Thank you for watching, and I'll see you in the next video. Bye.